Now, if you look at this diagram, this shows that the V by Q ratio, as I was telling you, is less than 1 at the base, that is the zone 3, even though both increase, and it is more than 1, that is it's approximately 3 in the zone 1, that is at the topmost portion of the lung, which is the non-dependent area of the lung in the upright position. Now, if you look at the ribs per se, both the ventilation, that is the blood flow, and the ventilation, they both increase as you go from top to the bottom. That is, you go from the first rib to the fifth rib, the ventilation and the perfusion both increase. But as I was telling you, the perfusion, that is a Q, it overtakes the ventilation. And the V by Q ratio reaches the value 1 at the rib number 3. Above that, that is if you go down from the third rib, that is the fourth and the fifth rib, the V by Q ratio becomes less than 1. And if you go above the third rib, that is the second and the first rib, the V by Q ratio becomes more than 1. That is approximately 3 at the first rib. I hope this is clear, because this deals with the physiology of the ventilation and perfusion matching in the different lung regions. That is, it reaches a unity at rib number 3. Downwards from rib number 3, the V by Q ratio becomes less than 1. And above the rib number 3, that is the rib number 2 and 1, the V by Q ratio becomes more than 1. And it reaches even up to 3 at the first rib. Now, mind you, the role of hypoxic pulmonary vasoconstriction is very negligible in a normal healthy lung. Whereas in patients with COPD, interstitial lung disease, or patients who have acute respiratory pathology, the normal gas exchange is dependent on an optimized ventilation and perfusion mismatch, ventilation perfusion matching, which in turn is influenced by the hypoxic pulmonary vasoconstriction. So, if you go back to our basics, you would have heard your seniors or professors saying that you should not be delivering 100% oxygen to patients with COPD. This will only worsen the oxygenation. How it worsens the oxygenation, I'll be discussing that later. In short, let me tell you here that inappropriate delivery of 100% oxygen along with the drugs which you use in COPD to manage the patients can attenuate the hypoxic pulmonary vasoconstriction. Now, what happens subsequently when you give 100% oxygen? I'll be discussing that later. So, moving on to the mechanism of hypoxic pulmonary vasoconstriction, the primary stimulus for the development of hypoxic pulmonary vasoconstriction is the tissue partial pressure of oxygen in the pulmonary arteriole. So, it has been postulated that the site of hypoxic pulmonary vasoconstriction is the pulmonary arteriole, and that it depends on the tissue partial pressure of oxygen in that arteriole. What are the factors which determine this partial pressure of oxygen in the arteriole? One is the partial pressure of oxygen in the alveolus, that is the P capital A O2, and the partial pressure of oxygen in the mixed venous blood, which is PVO2. So it has been seen that even in areas of low V by Q ratios, the alveolar partial pressure of oxygen will always be higher than the mixed partial pressure of oxygen in the mixed venous blood. So that becomes the primary determinant of the partial pressure of oxygen in the pulmonary arteriole.